Am I the asshole for explaining what a gift is to my wife? Last year, my wife Jenna, who is 34 years old, gave me a birthday present that at first seemed like an incredible surprise. For context, I'm Matt, 36 years old, and I'm the sole breadwinner in our family. We have 5 kids, and as anyone with a big family knows, things can get pretty chaotic. I'm usually working long hours to make sure everything runs smoothly, and vacations are rare because there's always so much to plan and save up for. So when my birthday rolled around last year, I wasn't expecting much. Jenna handed me a neatly wrapped box, and inside was a jigsaw puzzle. I thought it was a bit unusual, but I went along with it. She told me I had to put the puzzle together, which I did, piece by piece. It took a little while, but eventually the puzzle revealed a vague scene from Rome. I didn't really get where this was going, but Jenna seemed excited, so I kept my curiosity in check. Then she said, "Now flip it over." So I carefully turned the completed puzzle over, and there on the back was the word surprise written in bold letters. I looked at her, still confused, and that's when she told me, "I'm taking you to see the Colosseum. I know how much you love history, and you've always wanted to see it." I was floored. A trip to Rome to see the Colosseum had always been on my bucket list. It's one of those dream vacations I never thought I'd actually get to take, especially with our busy lives. So I asked her, "When are we going?" And that's where everything went sideways. She smiled and said, "Oh, I didn't know your schedule, so I haven't booked anything yet." I figured maybe she just wanted to be sure it would fit into my work calendar, but as I probed further, I realized there was more to it. I asked her if she had talked to a travel agent or at least set aside some money for flights, hotels, or tickets. She shook her head and said, "No, I thought you'd figure that part out. I mean, I planned the idea and got you excited, right?" I was stunned. I mean, don't get me wrong, the thought was amazing, but the execution was completely lacking. I'm the one who works, manages the bills, and keeps our family afloat financially. Planning an entire trip overseas, covering all the travel expenses, and figuring out childcare for 5 kids while we'd be gone wasn't something I could just make happen without some serious effort and, frankly, a lot of money we didn't have lying around. That was a year and a half ago. Since then, life has been as busy as ever. Work hasn't let up, and we've had the usual unexpected expenses that come with having a big family. I haven't been able to take time off, and we've had no extra money to put towards flights to Rome, hotel stays, and all the other logistics. Every time I brought up the challenges of making the trip work, Jenna would say, "Well, it's your birthday gift, don't you want to go?" And the thing is, I did want to go. But wanting and being able to make it happen are 2 different things. I'm not a magician, but every few months she'd bring up how disappointed she was that I hadn't appreciated her gift, and how she thought I'd be more excited about such a special surprise. It started to feel less like a thoughtful present and more like a guilt trip. Recently, she brought it up again, saying she was hurt that I hadn't acknowledged what an amazing gift she'd given me, and that's when I finally snapped. I told her as gently as I could, "Jenna, I think you misunderstood what a gift really is. A gift is something you give freely, something that brings joy without strings attached. Giving me permission to do something that I've always wanted but can't afford right now, and expecting me to plan and fund the entire thing, isn't a gift. It's more like a suggestion or an idea." She didn't take it well. In fact, she was genuinely offended and hurt. She said she'd put a lot of thought into coming up with this plan and I was just throwing it back in her face. But that's not how I see it at all. If anything, I felt like I was being set up for disappointment. I mean, how was I supposed to appreciate a trip to Rome that I could never take because I'm too busy trying to make sure we can afford to live day to day? For context, Jenna's always been someone who likes to dream big. She's an idea person, but when it comes to executing those ideas, she often leaves it to me. Whether it's a family vacation, a renovation project, or even just planning a weekend outing, she'll come up with the concept, but I'm the one who figures out the details. I've always been okay with that, but this time felt different. This was supposed to be a gift to me, something that would allow me to relax and enjoy myself, not something that added more stress. I think part of why Jenna's so hurt is that she sees herself as being really thoughtful with her gifts. She loves surprises and grand gestures. For our anniversary last year, she set up a whole scavenger hunt around our neighborhood, and it was honestly great. But planning a scavenger hunt and planning an international trip are 2 very different things, especially when you're on a tight budget and have 5 kids to think about. Now I'm feeling torn. I know she was trying to do something nice, but I just don't see how this counts as a real gift. And I hate that I've made her feel like her effort wasn't enough, But at the same time, I can't ignore how frustrating it's been to have this gift hanging over my head for over a year without being able to do anything about it. So, Reddit, am I the asshole for explaining to her that what she did wasn't really a gift? Should I have just sucked it up and found a way to make the trip happen, even if it meant putting ourselves in a tight spot financially? Or was I right to set the record straight, even if it hurt her feelings? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.